Hey guys, Sarah here from Cyclone Designs. Today I'm playing with some resin. I just got a new brand that I want to try, and I thought I'll do a review while I'm at it. So it's the Platinum. This one's the Super Clear. So it's a 2-to-1. Purchased here in Australia, online via DIY Composites, I think it's called. I'll pop the link below. Unfortunately, due to the good old coronavirus, it's taken, I think it was 21 days to get to me from Queensland, and I'm in Victoria. I've actually already mixed it, so I'm just going to do these two little molds, coaster sort of molds that I got the other day as well, via eBay. They came in only a couple of days. So yeah, I've mixed up 60 mils of the resin. I've already mixed it. Sorry, I didn't do that. It seems to be quite clear. There's a few bubbles in here, but nothing too bad. It's pretty cold here today. I've got my heater on inside. So yeah, I thought I'll give this a go, and I thought, well, a lot of people seem to be asking about this because it's pretty reasonably priced, and they have quite a few different options available, as far as, like, there is an art one as well. Kind of wish I had have bought a few different options, to being it took so long to get here. I just bought, this was a 750 ml kit, so with the hardener and everything, and it's a 45-minute working time, initial cure 12 hours, full cure 3 days. I don't know the temperature rating, so as far as it going with coasters, but so far it's only my friends getting these things, and they get told cold drinks only, until I get a brand that has that higher rating. So as I said, there seems to be quite a few bubbles in here. I want to do one completely clear, and the other one I might just do, I wonder what I do. I'll do some alcohol ink, or will I colour it just to see how it takes the colouring. Oh, actually, no, what I'm going to do, I've got some, they're called sequins, right? They're like big sprinkles. Yes, they're edible, they're sugar. I want to actually see how that goes, because I've got bags and bags of stuff, because as I said, I was a cake decorator, or I am a cake decorator as well, so I've got heaps and heaps of that. And of course, I'm not decorating too many cakes at the moment, because, well, we can't even get together in groups of 2, let alone party that will require a decent sized cake. So I've mixed this for a good couple of minutes, and it's actually nice and clear. Now this is UV stabilized, I believe. It's a tinge yellowy, so I'll be interested to see what it does when it actually cures, because yeah, from the pictures I've seen, it does. I'm seeing quite a few micro bubbles, so I might let this sit for a few minutes and hope that some of those come up, because they're, yeah, it does seem to be quite a lot. All right, I'm going to get a couple of things together, and as I said, let that sit for a couple of minutes. So we will be back in a moment. Okay, changed my mind. Not going to go completely clear. What I've got, and I wanted to try, is this Glam shredded paper. So it's like a hologrammy type, and it's almost like tinsel. So I thought I'm going to cut it up just so that there's little pieces in, and I want to see what it does. This is entirely a test. It's a test to see what this resin is like, so I figure I can kind of do whatever I like. I'm just sort of cutting it up into littleish pieces. I know there's glitters you can get that are like this, but I figured with this I could possibly even, like, because there seems to be some pieces that are quite a bit thicker, like there's a piece here where it doesn't look like it's shredded or it's sort of stuck together. So I figure I might be able to actually like lay it into a layer of partially cured resin and then, you know, do another layer over the top of it. So, all right. I don't want to put too much in because I do want it clear, in the sense of, you know, I want to be able to see just how clear this is. All right, this stuff's going to get everywhere, I can tell. Oh, this stuff's going to be worse than glitter. Alright, take that big curly bit out, unless I can lay it down in the middle there. Oh man, this stuff's... okay. This is going to be worse than glitter, playing with glitter. Alright, because I don't want it hanging out the edges either. All in the mold. All right, so I might just pour this one. Oh, that one was sitting sideways. Now, as you can see, I'm just using this little plastic cup. So those micro bubbles are still there. I'm just going to pour a little bit in to start with. And I also want to move that stuff around so that, because it seems to sort of be stuck to the bottom of the mold. Oop. There's a big bit sticking up there. Trying to get it into all these little edges. Actually, I'm quite liking that it's not, it doesn't seem to be like a super fast flowing of other resins I've played with. It seems to just, you know, dribble straight into the edges, and of course you've got no working with it. Alright, I'm seeing a few bubbles. I'm just going to let that sit for a moment. Alright, and go and get my torch, which I happened to drop in my paint the other day, so I had to clean it. Be right back. Alright, so I'll give it a quick torch, because I'm seeing lots of bubbles. Whoop. Ooh, that got smoke, but I have a feeling that's going to be more the glitter stuff than anything. Because some of the bits actually kind of look like they're bubbles, but the bits of the glittery stuff. Alright. Right. Oh, hang on. Let's see. There's a corner bit that it wasn't into. I can see some little bubbles that are right in the edges. Alright, I'll let that sit. I get this thing about tapping everything, because if there's bubbles in baking, you just like tap it down, and the bubbles rise to the top, so I can't see why it won't work in everything else. All right, just need to, no, the other one I'm going to do with the sequins. So they're actually both going to be clear. I'm not going to actually colour it because I want to see if this sugar stuff will melt for a start when it's in the resin, because the resin heats up. So let's put a layer in the bottom. Now, how I know I needed like 60 mils for this, I actually filled them both up with water and then put them into, you know, put the water into a measuring cup, and yeah, that told me I needed 60 mils to fill these two coasters. That was a good tip I saw. So yeah, you can do that for any of your moulds really. I just got a cool love sign mould that I want to try, but I didn't want to go doing that with a brand new resin when I'm not sure, you know, what it's like. Alright, just going to torch. I should have put my new silicone mats down. Two little bubbles I can see right in the corner. All right. Probably should have done it that way with the other stuff too. Put a little layer of clear down first. All right, so this is all they are, like coloured sequins. You can actually put these into like gold dust. Now, this is not going to be very even or anything like that, so I don't want to put too much in. You could be very delicate and, you know, place the dots, but delicate I am not, nor am I that patient. All right, so that didn't take much. Just try and smooth them out a little bit. Because I figure I've seen sprinkles in candles, and candle wax is hot when you put it in, so I figure, well, why can't this work? So let's see if it does. Yep, of course that. All right, might just fill it up and then we'll try and move the. Might be something to do in layers so that there's not, they're not floating to the top as things tend to do. So it might be that you do it in a layer, let that set. But at the same time, there are some that are sitting down and there are some that are sitting up a bit. And what looked like a heap before doesn't look like quite so much now. Let's see if we can pop these other ones that fell out. I figure I've got all these things in my cupboard, so let's test a theory, as is my saying. Oop. That'll teach me to use the same stick. I'm just going to pop some more in this one. See, this glittery stuff isn't moving as much. Ooh. Interesting. Oop. I think that is bang on full. Maybe a smidge over. Okay, at least they seem to, once you kind of press them down. There's a few that are floating back to the top, but I think that's because there's a little bit of inconsistency with how thick the actual little sequins are. Obviously the thinner ones way less, so they're floating up to the top. But hopefully they do sort of end up looking like they're at different layers, or even some on their sides, so that it gives that kind of 3D effect. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to torch this though. Now the other one is domed up ever so slightly, but you know what? It's pretty much bang on. I've got a tiny little bit left. Now let's see. No, can torch it, sort of. All right, now I am noticing a bit of a film, but yeah, I'm noticing a bit of a film on the top, especially if this one, I don't know whether it's because maybe I over torched it before. I need to switch to maybe using the heat gun. All right, I'm going to leave these alone now, maybe. I just want to push these ones that I know that are sitting right on the top. Down, down boy. This one's going to have some micro bubbles in it, but smidge more. All right, let's come back in 12 hours and see what they're like, and we can demold them, and yeah. But so far I quite like the viscosity of it. It's a little bit thicker than what I'm used to using, which is good because it actually seems to not move so much that you can actually, it might not blend so quickly as it does with some resins. I find when you're trying to, you know, do with colours and things like that, especially micas, You know, it all just blends, and I don't want it to blend. I want my nice lines and things like that. You know, like I see everyone getting, but you know, a lot of them are using artist resin. So we'll see how this goes. And so far, these are not melting, which I'm kind of really happy with, because, although funnily enough, there's bits that are melty over here. But I'll come back in 12 hours and see how they go. Cheers, guys. Okay, so here we go. Next morning, yeah, obviously I left it more than 12 hours, so it's been almost 24 hours. Feeling the top of this one. Yeah, I can feel some of the sequin things have popped to the top, but that's okay. I can always put another layer over the top of it. So let's pop these out now. Just gonna actually pop a pair of gloves on, because every time I do this I end up getting fingerprints and stuff all over everything and somehow ruining it. Now, one thing I am learning, I've found every time I torch using the blowtorch thing, I end up with a film on the top. Now, I did move these yesterday. I noticed a little bit of sort of speckling on the top. I don't know if that's because I've moved it. I hadn't touched the top until just a moment ago. So let's pop these out. These were new little molds that I got as well. It was a set of 4. There's also the palm leaf. Is it a palm leaf? Yeah. And can't remember what the 4th one was. That I just bought off of eBay. At the moment, I'm only looking at, you know, Australian sellers, because, well, anything else seems to be disappearing into the abyss of the post. All right. So it's pretty good and clear. Don't see too many bubbles. As I said, the top, I've got some, you know, sort of speckling. I wonder if that'll disappear if I put another layer on top. So this is the back side. I'm pretty pleased with that. It's nice and sharp. The edges are good and sharp. And yeah, it has sort of layered the, let's see if you can actually see it. Which end is my camera? No. So yeah, I don't know if you can see it there, but yeah, there is some depth because the sequins seem to have gone at a few different sort of layers within it. And they didn't melt, which was what I kind of wondered whether they would or not, because they're sugar. But yeah, I think a coaster set and those would be cool. Now, the Platinum Super Clear, which is what I'm using, I confirmed with the manufacturers, theirs is only up to 67 degrees for heat for this particular product. They do have other ones that it says are super food safe and that type of thing. Let's get this one out. Oh, this is much more difficult, but I think that's the mold. Now, when I looked at this last night, I thought, oh my God, I've got hairs in it, but I think it's just the fibery things, but they do kind of go cool. But I think the thicker ones work actually a little bit better. I wonder if, you can't see the shadow that it's casting on my bench top, which is kind of cool too. So yeah, there is a little bit of a, not a film on top, but that seems to be, I seem to have had that with everything. I'm going to try the next one without using a blowtorch at all. I'll just use a heat gun. Now this one I did move, and I've noticed some sort of ever so slight wrinkling from when I moved it, when it was still wet, where the top layer had sort of set. But yeah, look, it is super clear. I can see all the way through it. The tinsely sort of stuff that I put in it. But yeah, some of it does kind of look like hairs. So yeah, you want bigger chunks or thicker pieces. So I might see if I can find some that are sort of thicker like these bits here, so that you can actually see it better. So it's a bit more like a flake than a strip, but it does still have that effect. So I'll try it, putting it into like a color, like a black or something like that, and see if it still has that hologrammy kind of effect. So look, that's nearly 24 hours, as I said, and that's what, just shy of a centimetre thick, after, let's call it 22 hours ish, and that's good and solid. Like, I can't bend that now, which other ones I have been able to. I did have the heater on most of yesterday because it was a whopping 15 degrees. Today's a whopping 9 degrees maximum here in Melbourne, so the heater's staying on today. So is my great big hoodie and everything else, because it's cold, it's horrible, it's raining outside. So look, yeah, for first go, I'm really pleased. I'm going to try it maybe on a tile as a little sort of art piece. I haven't actually done any resin on tiles as yet, so I might try that next with it, because it did feel like it was a thicker viscosity, not so much like I believe actual art resin is, which is really quite thick. But I'll colour it, so I'll do that later on today. But overall, I'm really pleased. This one was, as I said, is the Platinum Super Clear. This one's the hardener. This was a little 750ml kit. I think it cost me about $38 Australian, and that included the postage. Unfortunately, it took 21 days to post because, well, yeah, Australia Post suck. But, you know, that's because they have a monopoly on it. Hopefully, you know, we can find another way to get it here a bit quicker. But yeah, I just bought the little kit. It's a very reasonably priced. Even the bigger ones I've seen a pretty good price, depending on what you're using them for. The only thing I have seen is, yeah, the whole temperature thing. If you're using them for coasters and stuff like that, believe you want one that's up to about 90 degrees. As I said, I'm not selling anything yet unless somebody tells me they want something. These are all just going to family and friends, so they just get told cold drinks only. But yeah, look, my review so far, I quite like it. It's a really good product, and love that it's actually Australian owned and manufactured. So it's actually manufactured here in Australia. So for those who that's a big thing for, which I think after this pandemic is going to be a big thing for everyone, that it's locally, you know, things are locally made and owned, especially. So yeah, look, if it's something you've been thinking about, give it a go. As I said, they've got good little kits, like this one, as I said, is about a 750 mils. There is, I think, litre kits in the art resin ones. So yeah, but as you can see how super clear it is, it almost disappears onto my creamy coloured bench top. So yeah, they are definitely there. Let's see if I lift it off. But yeah, they are. That's really clear, and that's not that they do have an ultra clear as well. Anyway, guys, I'm pretty pleased with that. Yeah, any feedback or questions you've got, more than happy to answer. And yeah, if you like what I'm doing, subscribe and, you know, like and subscribe. I've got some other projects that I've been doing with pouring as well. I'm going to be doing a little bit more resin work, I think. But stay safe, stay sane, make somebody smile. It's really, it's getting harder and harder, I swear. But anyway, guys, try and have a good day. Talk to you soon. Bye.